Hey, it's your boy back in the house, and today's video is about the do's and don'ts of weight loss, exactly what you need to do and what you should avoid doing if you want to get the most optimal and the fastest results with weight loss. Now, before we start with this video, I want you to go down below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and press that bell button to get notified when I upload a new video, because I actually talk about a lot of non-mainstream information that's about weight loss that you can actually get a lot of benefit, but most people don't know about. So press that bell button to get notified when I upload a new video. Now let's begin. The first side of this whiteboard is going to be do's. That is what I'm going to be talking about first. So the first thing that you should do is a calorie deficit. Everybody should put themselves in a caloric deficit if they want to lose weight. That's the simplest, that's a no-brainer. This means you should eat less than you used to before you decided to lose weight. Because if you overfeed your body with calories, there's no reason for your body to tap into your fat stores, to use your fat stores for energy, because you are already eating food. So the easiest source of energy that your body can use is the food that you eat, but only when you're deprived of the energy what you eat. Basically, when you do not eat, or if you are in a caloric deficit, what your body is forced to do is tap into your fat stores and use them for energy, and that's how you lose weight. The second do is you should eat more protein, and the reason why you should eat more protein is because of a few things. The first thing, protein is inefficient. What does that mean when I say inefficient? In order to understand this, you need to understand that there are three main nutrients: protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So almost every food contains protein, fats, and carbohydrates. That's the main structure of what your food is. Basically, that makes up for the calories that food is. And the difference between if you eat a lot of protein and if you eat, for example, a lot of carbohydrates, what's the difference? Protein gets digested much slower. I'm gonna pop a picture on the screen so you can exactly see how many calories more your body needs to digest protein. Like, simply eating more protein will put your body in a caloric deficit way more easier, because all the calories from protein that you eat do not have to be used by your body. Your body simply might need those calories just to digest the protein itself. So as you can see in the picture, how much of the protein you eat and how much of the carbohydrates or starch, that's the same thing, if you eat, how many less calories your body can actually store into your fat stores simply by you just eating more protein and avoiding carbohydrates, aka starch. And another reason why you should eat more protein is because it promotes your body to build muscle. And if you build muscle, your muscle is an active tissue that actually uses calories. So if you have more muscle, your body is forced to burn more calories simply by you just having muscle. And aka that's going to make you much more easier to put your body in a caloric deficit, aka you're gonna lose weight way more easier. Now the third thing you should do are healthy fats. You should eat healthy fats because it's not the same to eat. I'm exactly gonna show you what most people think. Saturated fats are bad for you, and these fats are good for you. Even though they have more calories than protein and carbohydrates, most of us know this. Protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrates, 4 calories, and 1 gram of fats has 9 calories. Most of us know this, but it's not all about the calories. Okay, calories really matter, as I just said, but also it is not the whole equation to the weight loss problem. There are more factors like your gut microbiome, your hormones, inflammation, how inflammation affects your body, and how it actually makes you store more fat. There's many different things that your body actually takes control, many different factors that affect your fat cells. You need to actually understand that it's not just about the calories. And healthy fats, I'm talking about fats that come from natural whole foods, not processed foods. For example, like avocado, like other nuts. They promote health, but also the interesting thing that they do is they help your body put itself in a ketosis state. Basically, when your body produces ketones and uses ketones instead of sugar for energy. The fourth thing, you should eat more fiber. This comes down to gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome is made up by trillions of microorganisms, not only bacteria, but the main ones that actually affect your weight are the bacteria. And the thing that you need to understand about your gut microbiome is that your gut bacteria actually feed off of fiber, the good bacteria that actually promotes weight loss. There's actually been studies, and researchers can, with 90% accuracy, tell if a person is healthy weight or overweight, obese, simply by just examining their gut microbiome. So your good bacteria feed off of fiber. Your body cannot digest fiber. Your body cannot do it. Your body itself cannot. But fiber is actually eaten and digested by your bacteria. That's why eating fiber is important. And those bacteria produce certain chemicals that actually make it easier for you to lose weight. Now, the fifth thing you should do, you should take care of how many vitamins and minerals you're getting, or if you're getting all of them optimally. The simple thing is you can just start eating a more healthier diet with more fruits and vegetables. And the second thing, if you don't have much discipline, you can simply just buy a multivitamin and then drink it. And the reasons why that's important if you're trying to lose weight is because if you are malnutritioned in these vitamins and minerals and nutrients, certain nutrients, also your body will enter into inflammation, chronic inflammation. And when you're chronically inflamed, it will make your body harder to lose weight because how your cells, because inflammation affects your cells. And after inflammation damages those cells cannot react to your hormones properly. And if your body cannot respond to certain hormones properly, that means that will be a really hard thing for your body to lose weight, because there are certain hormones that are actually fat burning hormones. And another thing is that you should put your body without food, periods of time without food. The reasons why that's important, because you need to let your body drop a certain hormone called insulin. Insulin is the hormone that's actually a fat storing hormone. And when you do not eat, the levels of insulin drop down. And the reason why that's important, your body can actually enter into fat burning mode. Because now listen closely, the key to weight loss is to understand that even though if you're in a caloric deficit, if your insulin levels are high, your body will not be able to use your fat for energy. Your body will slow down your metabolism or even use your muscle for energy. And if it wouldn't do that, your body would die. But that should not happen if you're in a caloric deficit. So even if you're in a caloric deficit, if your insulin levels are high, your body cannot enter into lipolysis, burning fat for energy. This goes how your hormones affect exactly your fat cells. This is biochemistry, this is science, this cannot be denied. This information goes much deeper than what you might have heard from some fitness influencers on YouTube. Because our body is because if you think logically, our body is so much more complicated than just simply eating less calories than your body burns. There's so many different factors that affect your fat. Your body does not, even if you're in caloric deficit, what happens if your insulin levels are high? Your body will drop down your metabolism. It will slow down your metabolism, so you will feel less energy, your body will produce less heat, your cognition will be slower, you will be like in a worse mood, you will be fatigued, you won't have any energy. And your body will not lose weight. Basically, it dropped down to the level that you are eating. And that is why it's important to have periods of time without food completely. You should let your metabolism rest, if that makes sense. So basically, what I recommend to you to actually start doing this is to skip breakfast. Skip breakfast. Because breakfast, most people, this is the biggest misconception in the world. Like, skip breakfast. Everybody says breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Yes, it is the most important meal, but listen to the name of that meal. It's break fast, break the fast. And that's when you break the fast, because putting your body without food, basically the whole night you did not eat, so basically your body is in fasting mode. And when you wake up, you eat something and you break the fast, you have breakfast. Okay, breakfast is important, but it's not important to eat it the moment you wake up, in the hour, you have the window of 1 hour. It's even better to let your body rest even further. Then you can have your breakfast at like 3 p.m. That is what intermittent fasting is, breaking the fast a bit later because it drops down insulin levels. Now the last but not least, one of the most important factors that actually people need to include in their weight loss is sleep properly. If you do not sleep properly, your body will have a block to your weight loss, because if you are sleep deprived, your body will spike up a hormone called cortisol. And it's super bad if you're trying to lose weight and you sleep deprived, and sleep deprivation gives your body constant high levels of cortisol. And the reason why that is bad is because cortisol is the hormone that literally takes your muscle and turns it into fat. And the reason why that's super bad for you is because cortisol is the hormone that literally has the capability to take your muscle and convert it into fat. It doesn't have to, literally takes your muscle, converts it into glucose, into sugar, and from your sugar, it turns it into fat stores. And also another thing that cortisol can do is it can turn your visceral fat into your subcutaneous fat. So basically, when you see people with a big gut and they don't even look fat, but their gut is super big, as you can see in the picture. What that means is they have a lot of visceral fat. They do not have subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is the fat under your skin that we mostly talk about. It's like on your chest, fat on your chest, fat on your shoulders, fat on your cheeks, on your chin, on your neck, on your belly, on your lower back. That's the subcutaneous fat. But the fat that you cannot see, that's under your skin and under your muscle next to your organs in your stomach, that is called visceral fat. So when you have a lot of visceral fat promotes inflammation, and a lot of inflammation, chronic inflammation, promotes fat gain. And that is why cortisol is really bad. So if you're in a caloric deficit and you're sleep deprived and you're stressed out, that's going to spike up a lot of cortisol. So what's that going to do? Your body will be mainly using your muscle for energy. Now, the second part of this presentation, I'm going to make this real quick. This video has actually gone longer than I thought it would. Basically, the don'ts of if you're trying to lose weight. The first thing, calorie surplus. If you're eating more than your body needs, basically then your body has extra energy, and the extra energy has nowhere else to go, and it has to go into your fat stores. So avoid calorie surplus if you want to lose weight. And the second thing is you should avoid eating carbohydrates or sugar. What does that do? There's many different reasons to why carbohydrates and sugar is super bad for you. The first reason to why carbohydrates and sugar is super bad for you actually stops your body from burning your fat for energy. And the reason to why that is because as soon as you eat carbohydrates and sugar, they get super fastly digested and absorbed. And what does that do? That spikes up glucose in your bloodstream. And what does that do? Glucose spikes, when there's a lot of glucose in your bloodstream, that spikes up a hormone called insulin, as we're talking about here. When you have a lot of insulin, your body will not be able to tap into your fat stores to use them for energy. Something else to your body has to happen in order to survive, but your body will not be able to burn fat for energy. And another reason, as I talked about here, of fiber, how your microorganisms, so good bacteria love fiber, but if you feed bad bacteria, because there is the concept of good bacteria and bad bacteria. This is not exactly how the concept works, but this is just easier to understand, just so you can get the results that you want. You don't need to know this in detail. So basically, there's a concept of good bacteria and bad bacteria. The bad bacteria actually love eating carbohydrates and sugar. They feed off carbs and sugar, and they do not like fiber. So basically, they work hand in hand. So if you want to be healthy and if you want to lose weight, you should feed good bacteria with fiber. And if you want to lose weight, and also you should avoid carbohydrates if you want to lose weight, because that will feed your bad bacteria. If you eat carbohydrates and sugar, that feeds bad bacteria, leads to inflammation, leads to high levels of insulin, and your body is forced to store more fat. And the third thing that you should not do is snacking. Basically, there's a misconception that most people think about in the fitness industry. You should eat less but more often so your body has like time to digest them. That your body does not work that way. Basically, what I just said here, you should have a lot of periods of time without food. And if you're constantly snacking, as soon as you eat, even though it's a good food, if it's a healthy food, your body will spike up insulin a little bit. And when your insulin is above normal levels, your body is forced to store fat at that time. Basically, at that moment when you eat something, your body is in fat storing mode, even though you might be in a caloric deficit. The reason why you lose weight on a caloric deficit is because you're throughout the day more in the fat burning state than you are fat gaining state. So basically that balances out and you lose weight. Calorie deficit does not mean that your body is constantly the whole day just burning fat. Your body's like, I'm storing fat a little bit, but then I'm burning a lot of fat when you're not eating. I'm storing fat a little bit, and I'm burning a lot of fat when you're not eating. So you should avoid snacking and actually give your body rest. Give your body periods of time without food, because that will actually help you with insulin sensitivity as well. Now the next thing is what we talked about here. There's healthy fats and there are saturated fats. These are the fats that I'm talking about that are bad for you. These are good from like natural sources, whole foods, fruits and vegetables, and nuts. And what this is, these are saturated fats from oils and other processed sources. They're really bad for health. They cause inflammation, so your body is more chronically inflamed, as I just talked about here. And at the end, it leads to more weight gain. And the last but not least, sleep deprivation, and to why you should avoid being sleep deprived. You should be optimally sleeping every night, 8 hours or 7 or at least 6 hours a night. If you go below that, then you're going to be sleep deprived. And the reason to why that's important, as we said, because if you're sleep deprived, your body will have a lot of cortisol, and that will lead to weight gain. And also, if you're sleep deprived, your body will not be able to build muscle. If you're, for example, if you're going to the gym and your goal is to build muscle, you can speed up your metabolism. That's going to slow down your metabolism. You will have less energy. You won't actually be that effective on your workouts. That's another way that sleep deprivation affects you. I hope you found this video helpful. Now a quick summary. You should be in a caloric deficit. You should eat more protein. You should eat healthy fats. You should eat more fiber for your gut bacteria. You should eat more vitamins and minerals, or have a supplement so that you actually get all of those nutrients and micronutrients from. Because if you are malnutritioned, you're not getting enough of these, your body will get inflamed and it will lead to weight gain. And also you should have periods of time without food. You should let your stomach rest, basically, so your body can drop down the levels of insulin, because insulin is the hormone that makes you store fat. And the last thing, you should sleep properly. And the reason why you should sleep properly, there's actually been a study where they actually took two groups of people and they actually put them in the same weight loss and dieting and exercise regimen. They actually did the exact same things, but only difference is how much they slept. They took this first group, they did everything right, but except their sleep, they slept less than 6 hours a night. And this group did the same thing that these did, but the only difference is that these actually got optimal sleep 8 hours a night. So what do you think the weight loss difference was after a few weeks? This group, sleep deprived group, lost less weight for 50%. That is incredible. That's just one of the reasons to why it's not all about calories. You should take control of your hormones, because if you sleep properly, that will lead to more good hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, more of endorphins. So basically what that will do, make you happier in life. And then what you should not do, you should not eat more calories than your body burns. You should not be in a caloric surplus if you want to lose weight. I don't care what else you do. Basically, you should avoid eating carbohydrates and sugar because they affect your gut bacteria. They feed your bad bacteria, and also they increase the levels of insulin the fastest out of all nutrients. Carbs, sugar do that the fastest. You should avoid snacking because you should let your body rest and drop down the levels of insulin, because insulin is a fat storing hormone. And also you should avoid saturated fats because they lead to inflammation. They're not really healthy and they will lead to weight gain. And also you should not be sleep deprived. As I said, this study proved that you will lose 50% less weight if you are sleep deprived than if you actually take your time, take extra 2 hours and get proper sleep. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found something helpful in it, and leave a like, comment and subscribe. Press that bell button to get notified when I upload a new video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put it all in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about